Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Going for a head shave and face shave today. It's a bit of an exciting day in the family and the household, at least over in Australia at the moment. My dad flies in today, the kids don't know, and it's going to be a big surprise for them. So I'm looking forward to him getting here, especially with my arm being screwed. He's just had a double hernia operation as well in the UK about a month ago. So he's coming over here for a month just to relax really and put his feet up and come and watch the kids play soccer and dance and do all that sort of stuff, the things he can't do back in the UK. So, soap, let's start this the right way, is going to be Ariana and Evans. Let's see, there we go, St. Bart's, which is one of my favourite scents. Now, one of the guys on the channel mentioned that he gets a reaction to this and he's surprised I don't. It's a gorgeous coconut sort of cologne scent. I think it is based off of Virgin Island Waters by Creed. It is a beautiful scent. I was supposed to have some Alexandria grooming arriving, but it never turned up. I hope it didn't get lost or stolen or whatever, but it never turned up. And yeah, but that's the soap. It's a sort of nice dark caramel coloured soap. Just get the brush out. Flick out the excess. I'm using the same brush that I've used for the last few days because I absolutely love this brush. I love the handle. The knot isn't as nice as my Simpson. The Simpson knot is definitely a nicer knot, but this one, I did mention that this was a bulb. It's not. It's definitely a fan knot. It's just a bit round. It's like a round. It's just a normal fan, I suppose. Look at the colours on that. I think that's the direction you get to get the colours on it. Absolutely stunning. It really is a stunning brush. So this tub's a lot. Ooh, my wrist actually, my arm still hurts. This one's a bit harder to hold because it's so big, but we'll do the best we can. I probably need to dip the tips of the brush actually back in the water again. No, maybe not. I didn't think there'd be enough moisture in the knot, but it seems to have held quite a fair bit of water. Now I have noticed with this camera, this front-facing camera on the Samsung, I don't know whether it does a beauty thing, but my skin, even looking at myself in it right now, I know you can turn it off and on. It makes my skin look better. It looks like I got a bit of makeup on. It's not bad. Doesn't do much with the circles under my eyes. I didn't sleep very well again last night, even though I was on some pretty strong sleeping tablets at the moment. I'm still waking up. And before anyone gets worried, I'm not using these every night. I'm sort of one night on, one night off, just trying to get at least a couple of good nights sleeping while I can. So you can see there, this is loading up lovely. And this will be a test for the brush anyway. So there is the brush loaded. That's some tasty lather. I'm just going to wet my head. Just had a shower. I've got a lot of growth here, so this is going to be a test for the razor, definitely. You know me, I like to push these razors to the limit because ultimately that's when they need to perform, in my opinion. I'm not a daily head shaver as such. What basically happens is I can daily shave my head most of the time, but I do get a build up over time of irritation. So as each day passes and each shave comes, I get more and more irritated. Not personally irritated, my skin does, although it does irritate me as well. So let's see how this brush performs on a head lather. Oh god, the scent's beautiful. Now I'll be honest, I'm not sure whether Peter Charkalis, who owns and operates the club, the shaving club, and Ariana and Evans, and his new product which is Face Spackle, which is basically an arm or an extension of Ariana and Evans, offering a more affordable solution for people that can't afford to plump $20 for a soap, which is quite expensive now. This soap I'm using today, I purchased, oh god, I think my whole trip to Canada and the UK, over $500 worth of shaving gear, including razors and soaps and splashies and everything else. Someone mentioned in my last video that I think he's sort of always having a bit of a vein, and fair enough. He's sort of over these sort of shaving channels that are advertising everything in Look, at the end of the day, I use products. It's advertising. I cannot shave on my channel with it unless I don't mention any names, anything at all, and just have a shave and talk shit. But the reality is most people come to these reviews and shaves not just for the shit, but they come here to see the product perform because they're interested in buying the products and they just want to see what it looks like, get an idea what someone's stops are on its scent, and see how it performs. Really, it should help you make a better informed decision when purchasing. Now we all know that's not the case because I don't put myself in that category of I love everything. I just say everything's good no matter what it is, because it's not all good. It really isn't. You know, there's brushes out there that sell for a lot of money but I've got shit knots in them. They look great in photographs but don't look great when you get them. And I've had that experience myself. Now because I've got a lot of hair on my head today, well, over the last few days' growth, I can't build a voluminous lather. It just doesn't happen. I don't know what the reasoning is behind it, but it doesn't allow me to create a very thick voluminous lather. The good thing is, I know this soap very well, and I know it's very slick and very protective. But you can see the brush, it's well caked up. Right, the razor is this, and this is the Karve Christopher Bradley razor in aluminium, anodized aluminium, and it's red and black, and the coating on it is absolutely beautiful. Now I'm going to do a comparison shave with this and a comparison review of this and the Above the Tie Calypso R1 that I have. I like the blue on the Calypso, I have to say, I do like the blue, but this red is a real deep sort of blood red. It really is a stunning razor. And as with all the, I mean, I've got a little fingerprint just on the top there. I've got a Gillette Super Stainless, the spoiler in here. It's about 6 or 7 shave on it. 3.25 inch handle. It's very, very light. Now I haven't got scales with me, but it's very light. It's way lighter than the Karve stainless and the brass. In fact, it's lighter. I think it's even lighter than the Above the Tie Calypso. But I like that. It means that I control the pressure more than the razor. So I just dipped it in the water there, just to get a bit of water on it. Heat it up a little bit. Using warm water today, and here we go with the grain. Oh, wow. That feels, it feels like there's no blade in there at all. It really does. Now I'm not actually putting any pressure here. I thought I might have to put a little bit of pressure on this. I don't know how well the blade's going to hold up. Like I say, this blade's done quite a few shaves now. Now if you watch the virtual groom room, Jack over there, yes, he's got an English accent, so he doesn't sound quite as sexy as me. I mean, how could he? But he's the sort of main man, or he is the main man behind Karve's customer service now. He is the one that runs the show behind the scenes with regards to Facebook messaging, emails, Instagram, you name it. He's your man. He's the man doing the photographs, he's the man doing all the advertising. And he's a really nice guy, and I do keep in touch with him quite regularly. We do bounce ideas about it and where we think, especially with Karve, where Karve could go better and things that they can do better. It's not a whole lot really, you know, there's a few ideas that I've spoken about in my previous videos with regards to the blade overhang and sorry, I don't know if I mentioned this is a C plate, which is 0.85 blade gap. You can see there, well maybe you can't, I don't know whether I can get that to focus, let's see. There we go, come on. It does take a little bit, this, I'm getting used to it slowly. There we go. Hopefully see the hairs in there. Not that you want to see it. It cleans out perfectly every time. And I've got a lot of growth in the back, so what I do is I shave half like that and then back to the sort of same area and put the rest of the lather off from top to bottom. It is jamming up just a little bit in the middle, just like that. See if you can see it. See that? Just that little clump of hair there. There we go. Just a quick little flick in the water and it's all gone. So it just takes a little bit. Now, another thing I like about aluminium razors, having owned the Razorrock MJ90, is they've got nice feedback. They make quite a lot of noise, they sing. This one not so much as the above the tie, I would say. I would say the above the tie makes a little bit more noise than this, definitely. Given that I've got a lot of growth in my head right now, I was expecting it to be singing a little bit louder. But the shave, honestly, I can hardly feel the blade. Well, I can't feel the blade. I have to say I don't feel the blade at all. I know it's cutting. I know it's definitely cutting. And I'm not expecting on this pass at least to have a BBS head shave. Definitely not. Doesn't work like that. This form of shaving with double-edged razors, old school sort of thing, is basically working and reducing. So it's a reduction technique. It's all about getting as much as you can off on that first pass, so that you've got less to do on the second pass, which then leaves you not much to do for your touch-up pass, your final sort of touch-ups. Now this is quite an extreme shave. This isn't what your average person would be doing if they're head shaving, because generally most people shave their heads daily, but every 2 days or so. Most people don't leave it so long. Now, part of the reason why mine's is being left so long at the moment is because I'm not sleeping well. I feel fatigued most of the time. When you're fatigued, it's very difficult to motivate yourself to do really anything, never mind shaving. Right, let's empty the sink. The sink is absolutely full of hair. Not that you want to know that. I've just realised my camera's probably just a little bit too, well, it's not the camera, it's just the way I've set my phone up. Probably just a little bit too high to catch the top of my head. My top of my head was probably sitting outside the screen most of that shave. And again, maybe not, I'm not sure. Right, just going to wet my hair again. There's still quite a fair bit of hair around, it really is. Like I say, I wasn't using any pressure, nothing at all. Just, well, I literally wasn't using any pressure that day, I was just letting the razor sit on my skin. The great thing with aluminium is you can add a little bit of pressure because it's so light, you can get it just a little bit more than you normally would with a stainless or a brass or a heavier metal razor. Right, this lather looks like it's dissipated in the brush, believe it or not. It looks like the brush has eaten the lather. Well, I have not had this happen for a very, very long time. The lather is gone. You see that? There's literally nothing left. So I'm going to dip the tips and go back to the soap. Something I haven't done. Something I don't like doing. Now this could be a new brush to me. I may not have loaded enough into the brush, to be honest. But it looked like there was loads in there when I began. I'm really getting fed up with this, Al, I really am. Because I'm tired, I'm not controlling my body well enough to move things about and put things where I want them to go, and because I'm tired, I just don't feel things as well as I normally do. There we go. So as you can see, that lather's building up lovely again. Very unusual for me to have a brush eat the lather, but it's a new knot in the den. I do have the Fanturium from my Grizzly Bay, which I believe is the same knot that Dan Rob uses anyway, I think. I'm sure it is. I'm going to do the tips. Once again, I've not had any reaction so far to this soap, which is great because the set on it is absolutely superb. Luckily I use a microfiber towel to place all my stuff on. It's actually caught most of the water. It's my little glass that I put my brush in, so it's spilled everywhere. So here we go with the Karve Christopher Bradley razor. Second pass against the grain. And it feels amazing. My wife's starting the frantic clean now. Most women are the same. I am a little bit myself, to be fair. Getting the house ready for my dad coming. As you can see now, because there's not that massive amount of hair, go on, focus. It really doesn't like to try and focus when your head's behind it. Really, the face camera on this really tries to pick up your face. There might be a setting I can turn on that actually helps with that. I mean, one thing I'm really enjoying with the Samsung, believe it or not, is the customization of it. You can just do so much more with an Android phone. You know, I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but sometimes you go, fuck, I wish I could do that on the phone. You Google it, and there's something already been done for the Samsung, and you can just install it straight away and it works. I've not been a fan of the keyboard, but I've just switched that out to a new one. The predictive text capabilities of it are pretty average. I find the iPhone was very, very good at picking up on words that you spelled wrong, and it almost sort of analyses the context of the sentence you're writing to find the correct word that you're trying to spell, and that's the whole idea behind it. So yeah, that's one thing that's better on the iPhone, but I have just downloaded a new keyboard and it seems to be pretty good. So it's certainly working well. I like all the little, just the little perks that come with it, the little features, the better sort of, the little edge screen and the edge flick out, and some of the gestures are actually quite nice. It's not as smooth as the iPhone, it doesn't feel as smooth when you flick through things, but the more you use it, the better it feels, the more comfortable I feel using it. It's taken me a while, but I've only had it for 2 days now, and I feel pretty much at ease with it, and that's the main thing. Right, there's a few bits that I've missed. Other than that, I would say I'm about 90% of the way there in terms of BBS. So let's get the brush again, and hopefully it hasn't eaten the lather this time. No, it definitely hasn't. You can see how nice and white and pasty that is. It could just have been that it was just sat the brush far too long that first time, but that was still pretty disappointing that it lost all that lather so quickly. Right, I'm not going to put a massive thick layer on here. I just want the slickness from Ariana and Evans to do its thing. And to be fair, Peter Charkalis' base is superb. Like I say, I'm not sure what his scents are. I have heard most people out there use pre-mixed essential oil blends, pre-mixed scent blends. So you're probably not hearing much feedback now, and that's exactly what you want. That is what the reduction is all about. It's about reducing the amount of hair to the point where, in my case for my head shaves, I don't like to feel anything. I like it to be completely smooth. Now doing the back of my head is difficult because I can't normally at this point I've got my hand on my other hand, which is in the cast, feeling around as I'm shaving, getting a closer shave. And I don't think, in all honesty, since I've broken my arm, that I've actually had a BBS head shave yet, completely 100% that is, that I can feel on my hand. So, bit on the crown, the back is almost spot on. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Now I'm just going to wet the base of my neck here. There's a little bit of residual slickness at the base of my head, and I'm just going to just flick. I know this is disgusting, but I do the base of my neck because that's where you get lots of really long hairs just at the base. So I shave my head sort of from here normally all the way up, and then when I get to the base of my neck and I put a shirt on, I've got all these hairs flopping all over the place, longer hairs. Right, I'm pretty much BBS and I'm just going to pop a little bit of soap just on my crown, just like that. Get the razor, and then my hair on my crown grows that way. Now this is the bit I struggle to get BBS because I really need to stretch my skin. But I think we'll get pretty close to that. I think we'll get close to full BBS, I think. Just pushing a little bit harder, just getting the blade to and the safety bar to do its thing and push the skin down, and that for me is excellent. Really happy with that. The razor, I mean that is almost bang on perfection, it really is. Now normally when I use a soap and I shave, if I put some warm water on afterwards, I get just a light, not a burn, but a bit of irritation. Is nothing today, absolutely nothing. Let me just check the back for blood, because that's not, well, the proof is in the pudding. There's no blood at all, no blood spots. Feels super smooth, feels super hydrated. That soap is excellent post shave as well. Now I'm going to rinse the brush out because I want to start fresh for my face shave. I want to see whether it eats the lather again, because that was quite disappointing, to be honest. That was the most disappointing part of it. The only disappointing part of the shave was the lather disappearing after the first pass. Just flip this out of the shower. I mean, the knot feels absolutely beautiful. There's just enough scrub in there. It's very soft. It's got a great feel to it. It's dense. It's not super dense. I mean, it's nowhere near the density of Simpson's, but definitely a beautiful brush. So the soap for today performed as it always does. Ariana and Evans, St. Bart's, which is basically Creed Aventus Virgin Island Waters clone, duplicate or whatever they want to call it. There is the label on the tubs as well. There's ingredients if you want to have a peek. Looks like that. Got bloody hairs all over it from where it fell on the floor. I'll give that a rinse out. Don't know why I say we'll give that a rinse out. It's almost like I got you ladies and gents in here with me. Right, try my hand off again. The brush, there's not much more I can say about this brush. I absolutely love it. I think it is an absolutely stunning brush from that Dan Rob. I think the guy makes incredible brushes. Like I say, this is a 26mm knot, I believe. Oh, St. Bart's, I tell you what, makes your brush smell beautiful. And the razor, well, there's not much more can be said about this razor in terms of what it is. I personally think that shaved my head better than the stainless and the brass, because it's lighter. I've got more control with this. You can see there's a little bit. Come on, let's go, come on. It's got a little bit of soap scum on the end of it. I think that's the focus, definitely. It is an absolutely stunning little razor, it really is. Don't know how I'm smelling it. Fucking losing my mind, I'm so fucking tired. Yeah, 3.25 inch handle, that was the C plate, 0.85 blade gap. I'll put this one up against the R1 Calypso soon, probably in a couple of days. But it shaved my head better than anything I've used recently, really. That's an amazing head shave with no irritation and no blood. I'm really happy with that, I really am. What a stunning little razor. And I think it will take out the title of best aluminium razor that I've used. And to be fair, if it shaves my face in the next video as good as it just shaved my head, it may actually top my Karve razor selection. But other than that, I will be finishing with this, but not until after my face shave. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.